So Topicon, anyone want to give it up for Jeffster and the cast of Chuck? I'm Dan Feinberg.
We have here a great panel starting from the your far left, recent graduate of the El Segundo School of Business, Big Mike, Mark Christopher Lawrence.
Master of Missile Command, expert stalker, and the Jeff and Jeffster, it's Scott Krinsky.
The stir that stirs the drink, and he's one hell of a dancer, Vixa Hay.
When he isn't rescuing African dictators, he's doing inverted pull-ups. It's Captain Awesome Ryan McCarthy.
Out of Africa comes Chuck's beloved sister Ellie, Sarah Lancaster.
He's gun-toting new dad John Casey. Some of you are making up his shit.
She got her first name this year and finally learned to love a nerd as Sarah Walker of Monster Hopsky.
Exactly work out, but everything else worked out this year for Mr. Morgan Guillermo Grimes. It's Josh Gomez.
He's the reason we're all here. He's the master of Chuck Fu. It's Chuck Bartowski, Zachary Levi.
And finally, two men so spoiler-averse they still haven't told us what's happening at this panel, and so joined at the hip, they share one intercept between them. It's Mr. Chris Vidak and Mr. Josh Schwartz. So, several people have asked us in the past few days how this co-moderation thing is going, and we have a secret weapon.
This is my daughter's stuffed puppy. His name is John Casey, and whoever holds it gets to ask a question.
We think the system will work. So, the first question is really for the cast. Last year, there was a lot of drama. I remember Subway sandwiches, I remember rending of garments, and you all came back. Now, this year, it felt like there was a little bit less drama, but what did it actually feel like to you guys to get that fourth season pickup and to be back here again? Starting with whoever wants to.
How about we start with you, Ryan?
Well, I mean, I don't want to throw out awesome, but, you know, when time calls for it, it was more than awesome.
Any of you guys have any doubts?
Well, there's always honest cynicism that comes along with this game, but we had a lot of people who were really rooting for us, the network and the studio, and the fans have been a really huge plus. But without you guys, that's the key. You know, you really put us over the top. So thank you very much.
So Josh and Chris, we have a few questions for you about. No, Adam just hearted some people.
Did you say hearted?
Alright, so when we left the end of last season, people seemed pretty happy with the status quo of Team Bartowski. Morgan had joined the group. Everything was working nicely. Now Chuck has quit the CIA. How is this going to work?
That's a very open-ended question. How is the show going to work, or how is Team Bartowski going to work?
A little bit of both.
Well, I think what's really fueling this season, as we saw, is everybody excited about who's playing Mom, by the way? That's really going to be a huge part of the season, the search for mom, and that's obviously a story that lands in Chuck's spy world and in his personal world, and how he's going to navigate that is really going to drive so much of season 4. But I can tell you this: are you pouring water into the microphone? So you're trying to make the entire ballroom pee? What's going on? I think I can tell you this: Chuck and Morgan are going to be a pretty bad but good but bad spy team.
I think another part of it too, just going off the Team Bartowski, is that just Josh and I and the writers, as well as the cast, we really like Operation Bartowski, so we're not super excited about splitting them up. It's like we want to see them back together and doing really cool things.
So you mentioned Linda Hamilton. How did she come to enter your sphere?
You know, we've learned to take our cues from the people gathered here today, and that was somebody that we saw there was a lot of excitement for. She obviously is someone that lives in the universe of the show. We always try to cast these parts of, like, if Chuck and Morgan were real people, not that we're saying they're not, who would they be excited about playing these parts? And I think, you know, Linda Hamilton has been such, you know, she's such an icon in terms of that action.